entrepreneurship and failures, those go hand in hand. My relationship with failure, I like to call it as a growth mindset. Every challenge, every failure, every setback was the only way I could find out what my next blind spot was. AI is not a luxury anymore. It's a critical aspect of our business. AI becomes that opportunity to truly ensure that we are as optimized as possible. Our productivity is higher. We went from that position of AI dominance, AI irrelevance. The objective of Canada AI Alliance was, hey, we need to take commercialization seriously. Let's bring together all the key leaders. We figure out that win-win, maybe everyone can win.
We're diving into the transformative world of app development, AI, and entrepreneurship, focusing on how multi-award-winning leader is building global companies and fostering a vibrant Canadian tech ecosystem. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative approaches of visionary leaders that are shaping the future of technology and business. Now, today we're diving into the transformative world of app development, AI, and entrepreneurship, focusing on how multi-award-winning leader is building global companies and fostering a vibrant Canadian tech ecosystem. Because in an era of rapidly digital reception, understanding how to leverage AI, scale a business globally, and ensure Canada's position as a global leader in innovation is paramount. Our guest has a remarkable journey that has spanned from building apps for global brands to founding national tech alliances. Joining us today is Kundan Joshi, the founder and CEO of TheAppLabb and TheAppLabb. With 18 years in app development, Kundan has built over 750 apps for enterprise clients across Canada and the US, like Unilever, Samsung, and RBC. He's a multi-award-winning entrepreneur, recognized as EY Entrepreneur of the Year, and one of Canada's top 25 immigrants. He's also the founder of Canada-US Business Alliance and the Canada AI Alliance, and brings together the Canadian AI ecosystem to help Canada and its vision of becoming the global leader by 2030. Today, we'll discuss including why Canadian businesses must embrace AI, how he is building a national AI alliance, and how his passion for community is shaping the future of tech in Canada. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Kundan. Kundan, we are very pleased to welcome you on this podcast today. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Super excited.
Very pleased to have you with us. Now, Kundan, your journey from a software engineering degree from Western University to a multi-award-winning entrepreneur it's quite a testament to entrepreneurial grit. Let's kind of start with your philosophy on growth. As a co-founder and investor in multiple tech startups, what key lessons about entrepreneurship and embracing failure have shaped your success?
Yeah, I like how you talk both of those in the same line, entrepreneurship and failures, because I think those go hand in hand. I think our relationship with failures is a very important component to it, and my relationship with failure when I started the journey is very different than what it is now. I wanted to succeed, obviously, which is why I got into entrepreneurship. I wanted to win. I was very ambitious. I wanted to do big things. And very soon I realized that the journey is not a straight line. It's ups and downs, and it's about opening up my own blind spots. I started right out of school after a few years of work experience. I started on my journey of entrepreneurship, and while technology was a passion, I was good at sales. The rest of it didn't come as a package. So obviously, I had to fall a few times, keep on exploring and opening my own blind spots. And as I got to expand my blind spots, I realized that actually every challenge, every failure, every setback, that was the only way I could find out what my next blind spot was, what my next hurdle towards overcoming the next step, towards getting to the next accomplishment was. So that relationship with failure, I like to call it as a growth mindset, but that relationship with failure, for me to embrace each of those and I can only embrace if I have to embrace them, if I have to be if I have to take on a very an experimental mindset, because every company that I've started it as a high experimentation, high innovation organization. In especially in a company like that, making sure that we are not afraid of failures, because experiments are meant to fail, because when they fail, you validate this went wrong or that went right, and then you continue on the journey, keep experimenting, fail very fast, learn even faster, and then continue on that journey in a sense. So I would say that relationship with failure, where I look at failure with excitement as opposed to a disappointment, because a failure means, oh shoot, yeah, I haven't figured that out yet, that's great, let me now embrace that, let me try to really absorb what went behind it, and what can I use that, how can I convert that into a true opportunity to learn something about myself, learn something about the team, learn something about the opportunity itself, and then either pivot my way or realign my way, or truly again get that momentum behind us towards success or whatever that might be. So that's what I would say is, and for a growth mindset is that that everything is about learning. That's my approach. It's not about succeeding or failure. Those are just labels that we give. As long as I'm learning from every opportunity, as long as I'm learning with every success or failure, as long as I'm learning with every opportunity, then I'm growing. And everything that I've created, whether it's the not-for-profit communities, whether it's stuff that I do in the business world or the financial world or the political world, those are all different aspects of learning that I need to adopt if I truly want to create an ecosystem, if I truly want to think win-win at all levels, to truly create a value-based value-based impact through all the organizations that I bring in.
That is a powerful message, Kundan. And it's clear that your success or your journey is not just about success, but also about learning from the challenges and the continuous evolving. Now let's discuss why Canadian businesses must embrace AI to remain competitive. Because, Kundan, TheAppLabb, your platform, it is focused on AI-led business transformation, and you believe that AI is no longer a luxury; it is a necessity for all Canadian businesses. Tell us, why is AI now so essential for Canadian mid-market businesses, and how does your firm help them use practical AI solutions to stay competitive?
Yeah. Yeah, AI is not a luxury anymore, as you mentioned. It's a critical aspect of our business, and many factors that we face as Canadian business is shaping us to truly not have a choice, but to embrace AI with all our arms. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty in today's world. As Canada, we face several challenges from a lot of our industries. AI is a brand new industry in many ways. In many of our industries in Canada, we haven't really been able to figure out a true value chain solution where we are able to go from ideation to commercialization and own that value chain. AI is an opportunity for us to own, not necessarily to be the best in the world, but to create our own stamp and authority in the world. And a huge part of that is how our businesses adopt AI, the approach with which we take on AI and take on this new technology, because that will shape not just the technology industry, but every industry. And today, as Canadian businesses, when we have our backs against the wall, considering the economy, considering our positioning in the world, considering again various challenges that we face in pretty much every industry that you see across, AI becomes that opportunity to truly ensure that we are as optimized as possible, our productivity is high as possible, we're able to maximize our revenues as much as possible. And it's not, and we are there, right? The advantage, especially that small businesses have, is ability to take a bit of those risks, like what we talked about from a growth mindset standpoint and from an experimentation culture standpoint. I believe every business will have to adopt that, and it can be done in a sandbox environment. It doesn't have to, the risk associated with it doesn't have to impact the entire business as a whole. You can experiment in a silo, you can experiment with a purpose that, hey, we will learn as long as we are willing to embrace it. So being AI aware, that journey is about embracing it, seeing, okay, hey, let's play around with it, let's see where it goes, let's have an open mind towards it, start experimenting, start putting it into real processes, looking at the data, looking at the real problems, and then seeing, okay, hey, forget about technology and forget about AI, what that means in terms of, oh, there's a new technology that we have to adopt. Think about our own businesses. What levers do we need to pull? From
Mhm.
a revenue maximization standpoint, from a cost reduction standpoint, what are the levers? And now let's look at, okay, can that lever be pulled faster, harder with AI? And if you have, and you start that process, one process at a time, looking at what data points do you have around that particular process, what digital transformation probably you need to do in order to get data around those processes. And when you have those things in check, in line, now you can start, how do you add that AI layer on top of that process with that data in essence. So it all starts with that intent, and that intent needs, again, right, the growth mindset. A huge part of growth mindset is
Right.
fearlessness. So instead of being fear or afraid of AI, like what is this, or being almost thinking of it as, hey, you know what, I mean, like resignation, you know what, no, no, nothing is going to happen.
Mhm.
Every innovation curve, obviously, like again, it took over the world. This one's going to go faster than ever imagined. I mean, again, my tech business is getting most impacted by AI. That's how fast it's going, obviously. It's here to stay. Now, what we do with it, and I think as Canadians, we are extremely well placed to truly take the opportunity and be the ambassadors of AI for the world. Why?
Right.
Because we are best placed at balancing responsibility
Mhm.
along with the potential of the technology. We already have strong research, we have a lot of good access, strong talent, and so on and so forth. If as businesses we embrace, it's going to have a massive impact to our Canadian economy, and as a result, collectively, we can do a lot more. The AI lab question, I mean, we help businesses in many different ways, especially mid-market businesses, where we look at first the business problem. What is the business problem we're trying to solve? We need to cut costs here. What is essential priority for this year for that business? Now look at all of those priorities, look at, for each of the priorities, look at the different processes. Then we will kind of identify and prioritize based on highest impact, lowest risk. Start taking that low hanging fruit. So we are taking one step at a time, but still moving with a lot of velocity and momentum. And then we solve one problem, then we can start cascading towards multiple problems, while at the same time fixing some of the foundational issues. In some companies, it might be a data adoption challenge where from a data standpoint they are not there yet, so getting that
Right.
data maturity becomes important. In other cases, it's a question of process maturity, which will help them with that. In other cases, just a case of AI maturity, whether that
Mhm.
means having the right roadmaps, having the right KPIs associated with it, trying to get some of those proof of concepts out of the way so they feel a bit more confident. They see, oh wow, this is helping me save 10% of my costs, and I've only built a proof of concept.
Right.
Now you get confidence. Now you build the right guardrails. We build the right guardrails around it to ensure that privacy, security is all paramount and center stage, while ensuring that with that experimentation and with that sort of bringing some of those concepts and use cases in, we are then able to truly transform the business through AI, really bringing in that money back into their pockets. And with mid market, we have some very interesting strategies. We are building some products directly from a sectoral standpoint. We'll work with some PE firms that are across a particular sector. We work with some conglomerates that work across the sector, and then we'll build those sector specific solutions, and then we'll subscribe various mid-sized businesses. So they don't have to, the ROI has to make sense. If
Mhm.
there's way too much investment, then the amount of immediate value that you will get, and immediate is important. Like within the next year, it can't be a 5-year picture with AI anymore. Within the first year, what ROI can you get out of AI? And if the cost doesn't make sense, then you need to find a way to subsidize that cost between companies across the industry, whatever that might be in essence. But making ensuring that we are able to help the businesses specifically from a business front, and not just about AI gimmicks or, hey, I mean, great AI everything. Let's
Right.
put it to use, put it to your business value. That's what we do best.
That's a very clear and a very urgent message, Kundan. And it's evident that AI is a critical tool for survival and growth in pretty much businesses of all
Yeah.
sizes. Listeners, if you are looking to understand how AI can transform your business, and please learn from this conversation we had with Kundan about why Canadian businesses must embrace AI, how to build successful tech ventures, and what it takes for Canada to become a global AI leader. Now let's continue our conversation with Kundan. Now let's discuss a fascinating and a unique part of your journey, which is your work in national AI alliances. Kundan, you are the founder of Canada AI Alliance, where you've brought together Canada's top 100 AI leaders, and this is such a significant undertaking. Tell us, why must Canada seize the AI opportunity, and how does the Canada AI Alliance help businesses drive collaboration in becoming a global leader by 2030?
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of from an industry standpoint, as Canada, and there are reasons for it, our geographic the way from a geography standpoint, how we are positioned along with US and US being a much larger market, most of our industries and verticals and sectors have been very intertwined with that of US or other geographies in essence. As a result, from a value chain standpoint, we really haven't been able to go from point A to point B and own that sector without any dependency, without a complete ownership and full control over our own destiny related to that particular vertical. With AI, we are at that inflection point in many ways. It's early enough, and it's a very interesting case because as Canada, at one point, not too many years ago, we were the leaders in AI. We have the top researchers. I mean, Jeffrey Hinton, Yoshua Bengio. They're some of the top researchers in the world, and it's well acknowledged. Like Jeffrey Hinton won Nobel Prize. So we went from that position of AI dominance to AI irrelevance, right, as of now. And that journey is fine because it's not too late right now, right? So, but that journey to correct it is extremely important because, especially with the tariff situation and several other factors, economy, etc., ambiguity, polarization, all the aspects that impact us right now as Canada, our future is truly in question. And to really revitalize our own future and our own place in the world and our own control of our own destiny, I believe AI can be that strong point. Why? Because the foundation is there.
Right.
We were the leaders in AI at one point. Our research is still very strong. We have among the best AI research institutes in the world. The Vector Institute, the Mila, the AMI, they're still at par with all the top AI research institutions in the world. We do create, they are all associated with universities. So Waterloo, UFT, University of Calgary, many universities across the country, they do create some of the best talent that we have. The challenge that we have is we go as far as that. We do great research, we create great talent. Now, if our industry doesn't step up, if we don't commercialize AI ourselves, what happens is our IP that gets created in these amazing research institutions, the research institutions that obviously are run by taxpayer dollars, right? That research, that IP gets bought by a US company, right? And that's okay. But that does not hold or leave any impact on the Canadian economy whatsoever. Our talent, our top talent, ends up going south of the border. Why? Because if you are not commercializing AI, you truly won't understand the value or won't be able to put that value, even you may realize the value, you won't be able to equate that value to that particular individual. I mean, top AI researchers, they get paid in hundreds of thousands of dollars, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, because what they do, the commercialization of it makes it way worth that price tag in it. And I'm not saying $500,000. We may be able to retain $1 million worth employee, but the 300,000, 400,000 ones, those are some key players that are the strong part of our talent pool. And if the ROI doesn't make sense for a company who's not truly experimenting in AI, truly pushing forward from an AI commercialization standpoint, the numbers just won't make sense. So our ability to commercialize our IP and retain our IP, our ability to retain our top talent, our ability to retain our top AI businesses. Look at all our Canadian AI businesses, even the larger ones who are in headlines every day now. Probably 90%, more than 80% for sure of their business comes from places outside of Canada, mostly US, but other places in essence, right? There are other factors that they might continue to stay in Canada. In the past, most of them have chosen to move away from Canada. If the businesses is not here, if the funding structures and the ability to fund them and invest in them is not here, talent is here, but then there's not enough of an incentive for them to stay here, because it makes it a lot more complicated for them to raise money from another country if they're based here, to commercialize in another country if they're based here, and so on and so forth. So unless we do commercialization ourselves, unless we solve that entire value chain ourselves, we will always be on the back foot. We will never take control of our own destiny when it comes to AI. So the objective of Canada AI Alliance was, hey, we need to take commercialization seriously. Let's bring together all the key leaders. And there are many organizations that bring together the researchers who are fantastic, obviously, academics, all of that stuff. We didn't have, I tried to collaborate with such an organization. I couldn't find one, which is why I thought, let me take it upon myself and folks that I am close to build an organization that brings together folks who are commercializing AI. So they are enterprises, large companies who are incorporating AI. A lot of them are our customers, obviously, incorporating AI into their own businesses that are looking to adopt AI in different ways, so that we can do three things from that. Number one, bring them together so that through sharing, through supporting each other, through tapping into each other's mind share, they can solve a lot of problems that are blockers in order for them to adopt AI. That's number one. Number two, one thing that the president south of the border has done well for us is, in some ways, they've brought us together, truly galvanizing that spirit to enhance collaboration. So now, hey, if there's a challenge for our industry as a whole, let's come together. Let's not look at each other as competitors. Yes, our secret sauce will be separate and they'll be parked in for our own organization, but not everything is a secret sauce. Not everything is an IP worth owning. There are aspects which are standard for the industry as a whole, a particular industry, a particular vertical. Let's work together on that. Let's build those playbooks. Let's build sectoral playbooks. Let's build sectoral best practices. Let's share, let's build, let's create, not just for ourselves to succeed, but other companies in the sector to succeed as well. So that collectively we increase the size of the pie, the challenges that we will have, and maybe in some cases, the challenges are detrimental towards moving forward to AI adoption. In some cases, they're detrimental to the speed at which we need to take on AI. So let's use that through collaboration. And the third part is government advocacy. So now, as a collective national voice, what different issues, challenges, data points, thought processes can we bring as a collective national think tank towards our government? So we've been obviously working very closely with the Ministry of AI, with the AI task force that's out there right now, to ensure they have access to our talent pool. These are the 100 people who probably hiring more AI engineers and scientists collectively than the rest of Canada. These are the 100 who are doing more AI projects than the rest of Canada. They are the ones who are commercializing more IP than the rest. And they are the ones who have the most amount of potential to do the same if they were to put the budget at the right place, in essence. So that's where the idea was. Let's start with them. And again, 100 is just a starting number right now. We are growing and scaling very fast. And soon we'll have cohorts across enterprise, across mid-market, across SMEs, to ensure that collectively various challenges, sovereign AI is a big challenge. Obviously, sectoral playbooks is a big challenge. Making sure that we have AI literacy across our companies. So strong AI literacy programs across our companies is a big challenge. So how do we collectively take on those kind of projects as an industry, work on them together, which benefits all? Again, the idea is win-win. Let's figure out a way that benefits us, benefits the industry, benefits the ecosystem, and ultimately benefits the country. And if all of those win-wins check in, then guess what? We are collectively all making progress, and that momentum can truly help us as a nation and every company and every individual in that country as well.
That's a very inspiring and a strategic vision, Kundan. And it's clear that Canada has that unique opportunity to lead in this global AI race. Now we'll take a short break to gear up for another exciting initiative. Don't go anywhere, because when we'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into Kundan's Canada-US Business Alliance and explore how bridging trade and advocacy is shaping opportunities for Canadian businesses on the international stage. Now let's kind of discuss another one of your groundbreaking initiatives, which is the Canada-US Business Alliance. Because Kundan, you have also founded the Canada-US Business Alliance, demonstrating your commitment to international trade. Can you tell us what inspired you to start this, and how has your advocacy work, including your meeting U.S. senators and congressmen, shaped support for Canadian businesses?
Yeah, certainly. So that's an initiative I started at the beginning of this year with curiosity, to be very honest, at the beginning. Curiosity to see, hey, I do believe that I have a strong network of some amazing individuals, very influential individuals. So my curiosity was, considering that we find ourselves as Canadians, as Canada, in a very precarious situation due to our heavy dependence on US. And if our relationship is at crossroads, that could be a big challenge for all of us. So it started with curiosity that, okay, can I talk to the right people? Can I bring some right people together to see if we can make some sort of an impact? I first started building the foundation here within our country, where I started collaborating with various organizations, YPO, Business Council of Canada, American Chamber of Commerce, various organizations that represent businesses in different ways. Luckily, presidents of most of those organizations were already very close friends. So I kind of started with, hey, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you're already doing this, I'm nobody. But if you're not, then I do have access. So maybe we can do something. And they all were fantastic to say, no, we're not doing anything. Everyone it's definitely a crisis situation. You should go ahead. And if you're successful, great, right? We all win. So I started with that. And again, right? Just a power of, if you put your mind towards it and use the influence of the network, anything can happen. I would say a month after that thought and that curiosity, I found myself at Trump's inauguration. I attended it, probably one of the few Canadians to be there. I met with the entire cabinet there. So Trump's cabinet, I had conversations, kind of represented Canada, our challenges, our questions, and so on. I had obviously aligned with various of these organizations here in Canada already. And then I hired a very strong lobbyist that had pre-existing relationships with a lot of senators. So created a strategy in terms of, let's talk to the right people within trade. Let's talk to the right people that are close to Trump and President Trump, and let's talk to people that have the innovation file, because obviously AI and innovation was an important aspect of it. So we had several of those meetings, probably met 40-ish senators and congressmen and in those three categories, in essence. At that time, we worked with both our prime ministerial candidates, and then obviously very closely with Prime Minister Carney and his PMO to share our insights in terms of what we were finding. We went there with a very win-win approach. Half of my clientele is in US. So for me, I wanted to find a way to solve this for both of us, right? And I took a very non-judgmental viewpoint. I went there not necessarily with any fingers to point, but kind of offer open arms that, hey, let's figure out a win-win. There has to be a win-win. There has to be an opportunity where we can serve you in a way that it serves us as well. And if we figure out that win-win, maybe everyone can win. Anyways, long story short, we were able to provide a lot of that intelligence to our team. We were able to create some programs with the US government, who were very reciprocative, obviously, to meet us and so on and so forth. We create some programs. One of the programs was actually Canada-US AI collaboration program. So interestingly enough, Canada AI Alliance was born out of that program, because when I created that program, I was like, okay, let me work with a commercialization body for AI in Canada where we can start those conversations. And that's when I fast discovered there's no one doing that. So let me start that, but I didn't want to start it in silo. So just like with Canada US Business Alliance, we partner with every organization that represented business. Even with Canada Alliance, partnering with every organization that does some aspect of AI, so that we're not reinventing the wheel. I mean, I run too many ventures to do anything that's reinventing the wheel. Because again, one aspect which I didn't mention in terms of from a growth mindset standpoint is low ego, right? I mean, if you the importance to surround myself with people that are smarter than me, more influential than me. Ultimately, I'm the winner in that particular aspect, as opposed to pretending that I know it all. There's no one to gain from that. Definitely not myself. So that's sort of how it started. And from an impact standpoint, I think there were, again, programs created. We continue to have that influence, and the opportunity that we've created there. Obviously, we are taking a bit of a backseat with that. We are playing a bit of a waiting game. Let Canada and US really figure out, given enough information to hopefully foster and improve or figure out the version 2 of what that relationship looks like. When that's in order, the opportunities, we've created those bridges that now allow our SMEs, our businesses in Canada, sectoral specific, and that sector ties to the particular senator, particular governor, particular state, in where there's a true win-win for that particular sector, for businesses on both sides. So we've created those bridges which we can start enabling so that our companies have that access from an innovation standpoint, from a market access standpoint, from an advocacy and an influence standpoint to scale and grow. And again, I mean, obviously with a center on AI, because that's truly, I believe that's, we looked at that as a bargaining chip, that we are strong in AI. We do have aspects of AI which you don't, and hence collectively we can truly make a big difference. So especially from an AI standpoint, we've created those bridges. We're still in conversations, and we regularly meet the folks that have built those relationships with, and continue to keep those alliances warm. And we'll continue to make progress as the relationships build. But the framework that we created there, we have experimenting that same framework now with other countries, and associations between two countries and of within various sectors and whatnot. I'm focused now specifically on AI as of now, because I think that's truly a big opportunity, and I'm in a way providing that framework to specific associations, industry associations. They can use completely open source it. They can use our playbook and make that progress within various different countries that make sense to them. And when the Canada-US relationship is back on track, then we can obviously we can get started and move forward on that part as well.
That's a fantastic and a powerful story, Kundan, and it highlights the importance of proactive, active advocacy in ensuring a level playing field for all the Canadian businesses. Now, finally, let's discuss your broader commitment to the community, your accolades, and your vision for the future of tech. I know you mentioned a couple of them, but Kundan, you're deeply committed to supporting the business, tech, and AI community in Canada, and you have received numerous accolades for your work, including the EY Entrepreneur of the Year, as you mentioned in our intro. Tell us what really drives this commitment to mentoring entrepreneurs and building the tech community, and how will events like the Top 25 Tech Leaders Gala and Canadian National AI Conference support your vision for tech in Canada?
Yeah, certainly. So, I think the first part is just the act of giving forward. I've personally benefited extremely from the communities that I've been part of, communities like YPO, which is community of CEOs across the world, various other CEO forums like McKay CEO forums, a few others that I'm part of. I've benefited a lot from those entrepreneurial communities, or CEO communities in essence. And they're mostly centered around one simple thing: growth mindset. If you're willing to learn, then pure learning is the right forum for you in essence, right? I personally believe that in today's world, where we have uncertainty at every way, we have loneliness at every way, we have polarization at every way. With those elements that are in a way grappling our society today, I personally believe that community plays an extremely important role. And I don't mean community, you'll see the type of organizations I've created. I don't mean community by ethnic community or a community from particular geography or whatnot. Community truly of like-mind. Even when I say like-minded individuals, it's not about similar interests, but similar intention. Intention to create a win-win for the ecosystem. Intention to, hey, you know what? let's create a win-win, right? I mean, if I say, okay, hey, I'm here going to serve you and not ask anything in return, right? I mean, true, my values actually promote that, but it's not sustainable, right? I might do that, but I have my family to feed, right? So that may not be sustainable. But I figure out that relationship, and with leaders, that's why most of the communities are built are communities of leaders. Selfishly, that allows me to surround myself with the smartest people in the room. But more importantly, when I can bring leaders together and truly align them on a common purpose, the opportunity there is one, leaders can learn tremendously from each other. I personally feel that peer learning is one of the most powerful forms of learning. So that's number one. Now, if they find that value with each other, I can galvanize that power, not just a one-on-one, but one to many. Like some of my communities are more than 1,000 people, 1,000 leaders, right? Can galvanize that towards a greater good. Now, whether that's greater good individually, I can mentor so many people. If I mentor one person a day, I'll be able to mentor 300 people, 365 people, right? But if collectively, we can create better frameworks for mentorship. We can have a bigger influence on how we disseminate our experience share, our learnings towards the community at large. And that creates a lot more impact. That creates much more momentum in essence, right? And as leaders, now individually, I'm like, I don't know what I can do for the country. I mean, the government needs to do something. But now, as a community of leaders, I can say, I feel a bit more powerful. I think collectively we can step up and do our part, right? Take our own responsibility and see what we can do to serve the government, to collectively align so that it's truly a win-win, that the country wins, our businesses win, our ecosystem wins, and everyone prospers. And it's a much more prosperous place to be in. So that's where my community commitment to community comes. That bringing leaders together. I've seen the power myself because I've benefited tremendously from it, and I believe that obviously most of it is focused on community of entrepreneurs, community of business leaders, community of technology leaders. I believe these communities can truly help shaping the future of the country, but even beyond, future of multiple countries, and then collectively in terms of how we build our relationships with each other. So that's where my commitment lies. And again, I mean, the things that you mentioned, the awards gala, the national AI conference we are creating, those are, again, they are obviously they are one. We want to celebrate the success in the community. We want to showcase role models in the community of people who have done well. Sharing those stories is extremely powerful, like you're sharing stories here, right? So sharing stories is extremely powerful. But more than that, that creates those opportunities for creating that think tank, for experience sharing, for knowledge sharing, and that galvanizes to, again, bring people together, further our objectives of bringing an even stronger community that's focused on, let's support each other, let's just sponsor each other, let's just have each other's back. And if we do that, guess what? Everyone benefits, the entire ecosystem benefits, and now we'll ensure that everyone feels empowered to give back, to pass it forward. And isn't that a beautiful place to be in?
Absolutely. That's such an inspiring vision, Kundan. And it's clear that you are passionate about building a vibrant, a well connected, and a prosperous tech community in Canada. And we wish you all the best for that. As we wrap up now, Kundan, what is that one key message that you want Canadian listeners to take away about building a successful, future ready business?
Yeah. I mean, I would say two things. One is, let's say three things.
Okay.
One is obviously the theme of AI, right? I think AI is something that we have to embrace today. And the simple way of embracing it is having an open mind, having a curious mind, as simple as that, right? And diving in, right? You have a curious mind, you have an open mind, it's not filled with fear about the potential negative possibilities, but the opportunity. And you dive in one process at a time, one agent at a time, one business problem at a time, right? I mean, start making progress towards that. So that's one very simple. You have to be AI aware. have to be AI enabled. You can't afford to, regardless of what business you are in, right? I mean, regardless what sector you are in. I think that's going to be an extremely essential and critical part. The second part is obviously growth mindset that goes hand in hand with that, obviously, right? I mean, that thinking, looking at with the lens of the world is changing around us very rapidly. So having that curious approach, having a growth mindset where we're looking to learn and we are open to getting rid of our blind spots instead of staying in the same lane. And the lanes are changing, so we can't afford to be okay and comfortable in staying the same lane. So being open to be uncomfortable, to getting out of our lane, being open to be exposed, that becomes important. And third is the collaboration aspect, right? Like support each other, collaborate with each other. Here's an opportunity for us as Canadians to start thinking collectively. And yes, we need to embrace competition as well. It's okay, right?
Sure.
But from a collaboration standpoint, opportunity to look at where is it that we can both help each other. Maybe there's that one aspect that we compete with each other and we keep that on the side. But wherever there are aspects to collaborate, let's find a way to do that. And if we can we can increase the size of the pie to do that. Let's start thinking about it. So from a collaboration mindset, we have the momentum with us. Let's, especially as business leaders, as business owners, let's start putting that hat on and see what the possibilities might lie.
That is those were powerful and very actionable messages. Kundan, thank you so much for being on the show with us and for sharing such great expertise and your insights. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And listeners, that was an insightful conversation with Kundan Joshi, the founder and CEO at TheAppLabb and the AI Lab, on his entrepreneurial journey, why Canadian businesses must embrace AI and why Canada must not miss the AI opportunity, his work with the Canada-US Business Alliance, and his commitment to community and mentorship. Thank you so much again for your tuning into the podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Please be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. You can also visit our website, CanadianSME.ca, for valuable information and tools. A special shout out to our partners, RBC, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses in Canada. Until next time, please keep innovating and striving for success. We'll see you in the next episode.